just walking up here, actually, I couldn't get over that. I really like this building, like creaking doors and all these noises, like the tap, tap, tap of feet. Does this make you want to get on the phone and go, get me a director, get me a script?
Yes, I can think there are a lot of ghosts in Amsterdam. I was at dinner last night and someone showed me a video of their house, and it had multiple chandeliers, and one was moving like this back and forth.
Right.
So I've decided there are a lot of ghosts. There are a lot of ghosts here.
Yeah, so you like Amsterdam and the Netherlands in general?
I do. I've been here once before, and it's a very beautiful city.
Ah, cool. So between the two films, you've produced this year Ma and Us, well, amongst other films, of course. But those are probably the two shortest horror titles of 2019. That couldn't have been deliberate, could it?
No, it wasn't deliberate, but I don't know if we'll do any more of the two-letter titles. But I like a short title.
Yeah.
Most of our movies have one-word titles. I like very short titles.
Yeah.
The Purge, Insidious, Sinister,
Yeah.
Get Out is 2 words but only 6 letters. Us, Ma.
Yeah.
I'm big on small titles.
It's very economic.
Yes, exactly.
But what did you want to make this story, Ma?
What attracted to me? Well, one of the things that we look for at the company is stories that we obviously have to like the story, but also that feel original, like that we haven't seen before. Yeah. And I feel like Ma, for sure, it's kind of tipping its hat to Misery, and Kathy Bates is kind of like Octavia, and Octavia's kind of. I always think of Kathy Bates, the character Kathy Bates playing Misery, when I see Ma. But that movie was a long time ago, and there really hasn't been anything like it. So I think the first thing that we look for is does it feel new? Yeah. Not all of our movies work, but I try and I hope that the originals, the sequels is different, but the originals that they feel different than movies that have come before them.
Also, Tate Taylor, with his resume, he's done more drama films. And how did your paths cross? How did you?
Well, I also, which I think is another kind of unique thing about Blumhouse, is that when we're making scary movies, we look for artists who've done great movies, not just great horror movies. In fact, I almost shy away from that. And with actors especially, I really like to use actors who've never done horror before, because it's more effective and more surprising to the audience when they haven't seen them in that context before. And I think that's when a studio hires a director to do a horror movie, they have to have made a good horror movie before. Yeah. So it's an unusual thing, and really the way that we find our talent is we all are looking for directors or artists that we admire, and then we say, hey, you haven't tried scary before, why don't you try it? And usually what the directors say is, well, I wouldn't know how to do that. And I say, well, we know a lot about it, so we can help you. But really, the key to a great horror movie is great characters and great storytelling, and you know how to do that. And so we come together and make scary movies.
So you reached out to him, basically.
I did reach out to him. Yeah, exactly.
Apart from the amazing work by Octavia Spencer, why would you say that this sort of sympathetic villain works so well, especially in a movie like this?
Well, Octavia specifically, I think, works in this part. One of the reasons that she works is she's mostly played good people, good characters, and when at the beginning of the movie you want Ma, you're kind of seeing it through the point of view of the kids, and the kid, Ma's very, very generous. She's very kind that she's getting the beer and she's letting a party at her house. So I think the characters that Octavia's played before and the baggage that you bring when you see Octavia actually helps propel you into the story of Ma in a very positive way. And also, of course, Octavia's there's a reason that she's famous. She's an amazing actress, and so that obviously really helps to make a good movie.
And you're often a very big advocate for creative freedom for your own directors. So what do you want to get out of that? What do you want to make happen with movies? What are you looking for?
Well, what I'm looking for is a single voice. Yeah. And I think one of the things you can say about Blumhouse movies is that they tend to be told from one point of view, and that's very common in Europe. Really, one of the ways I describe our system is that we apply the auteur system to commercial movies. But the director has creative controls like they have in Europe, but not like they get in Hollywood. They have final cut, final say over casting, final say over the crew hires, so that the creative control is consolidated into one person. What you find when you do that is they're much more open to collaborating when they know that they have control. Yeah. So we have an enormous amount of influence, creative influence in our movies, but we don't force it on the directors. We allow them to choose to take our good ideas and throw out our bad ones.
All right. And do you also feel that smaller budgets often lead to more creative choices when making a movie?
Yeah, I think they do, especially for horror movies, because I think when a director has limited resources, they have to rely on what to me makes a movie good or not good, which is the acting and the storytelling.
Yeah.
And I think if you have a lot of money, you think you can cover up a bad storytelling or holes in the story with a big stunt or a big special effect or a big location. I think when you pull that stuff away, it forces the director to just focus on the storytelling and the acting, and that to me is what differentiates bad movies from good movies.
Well, you could say that there are new golden days for horror at this moment. Do you feel in any part responsible for this?
I hope I played some role in that, for sure, for sure. I hope I did, for sure.
But the question also goes two ways. Like, do you want to keep this up, keep this thing going?
Yeah, I like making scary movies. We do a lot of different kind of. When I want to do another genre, we really do that in television.
Yeah.
But if I'm making movies, I'm interested in making movies for a wide audience that are in 10,000 theaters, and that's really scary horror thriller, and that's what we've done for 10 years, and hopefully we'll do it for 10 more years.
Right. And do you have like a sort of a list of like concepts of these are the way we can isolate some teenagers and have some fun with that? Or?
No, I don't. Really shy away from that, because I think the thing about being young is you can't be put into a category, and I think the minute if you think you've figured out how to reach teenagers, they won't like that anymore.
Okay.
I know I wouldn't have liked that, right? So I think the way to reach teenagers is by doing stuff that's different and new and inventive and edgy and not like you've done before. And I'm very, very careful about not falling into the trap of trying to repeat our old successes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.